And welcome once again to another episode of S2E3 Productions Presents
J&M Solve the World. I am James.
And I am Matt. And with us for the first time in Season 2 is, you know him, you love him, your favorite wannabe moose, Andy!
No, ain't no wannabe. I am the moose. Yeah, I'll wait for that. The one and only Boinkle. Going to Canada? Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, I get laughter.
He got laughter.
Yeah. Got laughter after the crickets, of course. So,
better nothing.
we are episode 3 on the new season. And before we get into it, I just want to let everybody know that is watching this on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify, Amazon Music Podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio. Am I leaving any out?
Oh, no, you didn't bring a card in here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. But give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Rate us on Spotify and everything else. And tell your friends so we can grow our audience.
And if you have any suggestions for us, comment on a subject you'd like to hear us talk about. Whether it's, we don't profess to know a lot about anything, but we know a little about a lot of things. So
Yes.
it's, we like to talk shit. This is just our opinions. It's not
The gospel.
no.
It's not set in stone, folks.
We're not saying this is the absolute truth unless we Google that shit and put it right up here.
Yeah. Which may or may not happen. But then again, I mean, it's Google, and you got to watch your.
If we try to express facts, we try to correct ourselves if we fuck something up.
Yes.
But opinions are opinions, and they're like assholes. Everybody's got one.
You think? I don't poo.
Not bad. Sorry.
That's some good shit, isn't it?
I don't know what it is, but it ain't bad.
Just to kill you. It's better than that shit we normally get at our normal meetings.
Yes,
That's tequila?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Well, kiss my rosy red behind.
No.
No.
Figuratively speaking, not literally. I wouldn't ask you two to do that.
Not even $20 is $20 is going to get that shit to happen.
How about 40?
No, because I see how hairy,
120.
I see how hairy your arms are and how bald your head is.
Well,
so that's telling me that you've probably got dingleberries.
Nah, no.
I'd kiss a cheek for $1 million.
I'd kiss the other cheek for another $1 million.
Yeah.
I wore.
If you had
I wore today, as a matter of fact.
If you had $2 million,
if you had $2
last night.
million, we would kiss each cheek at the same time.
yeah,
$2 million. That's all it's going to take.
You ain't gonna get it from me.
Oh.
and I don't,
Somebody else would have to front the money.
and
for
I
that.
don't take a check.
That might be more. That might be more action than your cheeks have got in a while. But
Anyway, let's not get into that.
Tonight's topic, we're gonna talk a little something somber, if you will, something that kind of hits really. Actually, it hits really close to home. Some sooner than others, but it's still a touchy subject.
it's a subject that everybody can relate to.
Yes, because everybody is dealt.
And that will happen
Yes.
to everybody on this earth
Because
sooner or later.
guess what? We don't make it out alive.
No matter how hard you try.
Yep.
Ain't
Death.
gonna happen.
I'm going to talk about death.
Death. Not the gear of metal.
Not the band.
Not
death.
the band. Not the death metal
Genre.
Because most people, when they tune in, they say, "Now they're fucking talking music again." Jesus.
Nope.
Nope.
Not that.
And we're not even talking the hooded skeleton sickle person either. No,
Yeah, from
all the comic strips and everything.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about him.
or Death from the Sandman series, who was a very beautiful woman.
Mm.
Yes.
I haven't
Now
seen
that, now that you have the ability to watch Netflix, I highly suggest.
I don't. Well, I have the ability. I just haven't signed up for Netflix yet.
I got you, bro.
Okay.
But it's definitely one of those binge-worthy series on Netflix. It'll be different for you than me because I read the comics back in the day.
Right.
But by itself, it makes sense. Without any background knowledge, it makes sense.
Okay.
Much like the series Lucifer.
You know, I never watched that. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but I hear it's. I mean, you've told me it was really good.
Well, and it makes you think.
Okay.
You know, how everybody has said that all the evil in the world is from Satan,
Right.
but we as human beings, we have free choice.
Right.
And the series, like the movie Dogma and any other religious movie, it makes you think.
I love Dogma.
Oh yeah, what if Lucifer, or when he was an angel of God, Samael, the lightning bringer,
The Morning Star.
yeah, what in the show, he's never killed a human.
Okay.
He doesn't lie. He cannot lie. And I mean that's the whole premise of the whole thing is, and he doesn't make you do anything. The only thing the only power that Lucifer has, other than the fucking wings and the
So he couldn't like buy a guy's soul to give him to where they could play guitar really well, or
now the way that the show goes.
did he ever go to Georgia in this series?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Because he wasn't a fiddle player.
no. In the show, people come to him to ask for a favor, and he doesn't like miraculously make you a movie star or a musician. No, he introduces you to somebody that can get you to that. Like
If you got the talent to do it.
right,
Right.
as an actress or an actor, he's going to introduce you to a producer or to a director. As a musician, he's going to he's going to introduce you to a producer, to a record executive. He's going to introduce, hey, you want this to go away.
So back in 1997, if we'd have met him, he might have got us a deal with, or a meeting with Columbia or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He would have just said it, but then, and it's not for your soul. And at any point, he can come to you and collect on that favor. And it could be as simple as getting information on something.
Okay.
Because in the series, he goes to work for the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD. And he calls in a favor
I thought you were
to...
going to say the CIA.
No. He calls in a favor to some criminal boss or something like that. And it's just, hey, what do you know about this? And, like with this criminal boss, he can't lie to Lucifer because Lucifer's going to know. His one superpower, other than being immortal, being an angel, yada, yada, is he can find out what your deepest desire is.
And that's where he can fuck with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And work on that.
Well, no.
Not necessarily work on it, but
Okay, in the show, he'll in interrogation. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. I mean, it was a fucking great show. But in an interrogation, he would ask somebody what their deepest desire is, and they would be like, mesmerized, and they would tell what their desire is, and then they would continue on telling the truth of what that desire is. So I mean, it's like, okay, well, And I mean, it is really cool because the angels that are in the show, Lucifer's brother Amenadiel, I never heard of an angel Amenadiel in the Bible. Azrael,
I've heard of Azrael.
yeah, Lucifer's twin brother is Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only way you can tell them apart is Lucifer cut Michael during the war, and Michael has a scar that comes down his face, and yeah, and it's another thing in the show that makes you think, and it kind of plays on this whole death thing. Cain, as in the first murderer,
right?
As punishment from God, was made immortal.
Okay.
So for eons upon eons, he's on the earth. He can't die.
He's stuck there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Cain and Abel were Adam and Eve's first children.
There's always one thing I wondered about that too. Is that after Cain slew Abel, he was banished from the garden.
Yes.
Well, it really wasn't the garden at that point because
Yeah.
he fucked that up by letting Adam eat the apple. Anyway,
Yeah.
but Cain slew Abel and he ran away. But then it says he took a wife. Where'd that wife come from?
Here's a better question.
I mean, was it, because they were the only people on Earth. Where did he meet a wife? Was it, okay,
sister?
Since you just said he was immortal,
Yeah.
was it 1,000 years later? Or was it another humanoid?
Was it a sister?
Or was it a sister?
Right.
Well, it had to all be inbreeding at the start.
Right. It still is. I mean, if you want to get technical about it, and if you want to believe what the good book says, that a human wrote, everybody came from Adam and Eve.
Right. So we're all like 50th cousins, I think.
Yes. So, ifto facto, your wife of 20 plus years, I mean, you are in Southwest Missouri, and I mean, you guys got married in Arkansas, didn't you?
No, we got married in Missouri. We got married down here.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You honeymooned in Arkansas.
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. So, anyways, yeah, Lucifer's a good show.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember hearing something on the radio that the meaning of the word Lucifer is like light or something similar to that. Heard that on the radio. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
really?
Well, because he was a morning star.
Yeah. He was Samael.
It was what?
When he was an angel of God in heaven, he was Samael, the lightning bringer. So in the beginning of the Bible, the quote unquote Big Bang theory, or the lighting of the universe, the creation, that was Samael.
Okay. Didn't know that.
In our Masonic rituals, we talk about the morning star.
Okay.
But we're not worshiping Lucifer
Right.
for those of you out there who think all Masons are fucking devil worshippers.
Nope.
No.
We ain't. Nope. Not even close.
The funny thing about the series, there's one part they come across some Satanist, and they're doing these, this bullshit sacrifice and ceremony and whatnot, and they've got somebody with a goat's head and blah blah blah, and Lucifer's like pissed that shit is still around, and
Right.
it comes from his brother Amenadiel playing a joke eons ago, like whispered into somebody's ear that the devil was a goat, and that's where it all came from.
Yeah, but the goat's head fits in the pentagram really well.
Right. But
You know, the point, the chin, the horns, and, you know,
right.
it all fits real well. Of course, we wouldn't know
But-
nothing about that because we don't listen to heavy metal devil music or nothing.
But isn't the pentagram used in some form in other areas?
Oh yeah, the Eastern Star is a pentagram, but it's right side up.
Or I had a guy that I
It's
used to
also
work with.
it's also in our Masonic ceremonies too,
That was like,
in the first degree.
it was like, somebody told me
It's a 5-pointed star.
that it was, you know, like upside down or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Right, yeah,
like,
that's-
in which I don't know. I don't. You
It's
know,
it's a pentagram, whether it's upside down or whatever. But
Yeah.
in the satanic, it's just like they turn the crosses upside down.
Yeah.
You know, like the old Slayer show
my
where the
God.
crosses are on stage and all of a sudden they start rotating.
Yeah.
And turning the crosses upside down. It's like
I remember back in high school, there was this big article in the paper where I lived, and they were talking about all these satanic symbols and everything. And one of them was the fucking peace sign. Because they said the peace sign was an inverted cross with the arms broken.
Okay.
Sure. No.
Actually,
the circle line.
Right. Actually, the peace sign is a derogatory symbol
Oh, I'm sure it is.
in England
Oh, yeah.
if you give it this way,
Oh, yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
If you
Because-
give it this way, that's okay.
But the best way to.
But if you give it this way,
Yeah.
that's their version of that.
Right. That's
Because
why
of the archers back in
Yep.
the Middle Ages.
in a pub, you order two beers.
Or
We get two.
Two, or two.
Yep.
Yep. Or two. But you don't do it that way.
Right. But if you do this, then you're flipping off the person behind you.
Right.
Let me get two.
I want to.
Or you walk into a
One,
pub in
two.
England and say, Dos cervezas, por favor. And they're like, what'd you say, Yank? 2 beers.
Said I want 2 beers. Damn it. You know. Sorry. My bad.
Okay. So I've rambled on.
Well, Lucifer. Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be
Great,
all right.
great show. Great show, by the way.
Never seen it.
Well, I would suggest watching it. I'm rewatching the whole series again, and it's fucking great. And it's funny,
It's like Dogma. It just kind of makes you think.
right? Because Lucifer's wings, in human form, are pure white, the whitest things ever. But then his brother Amenadiel, his wings are black.
Okay, didn't know that.
And then Lucifer's quote unquote devil face is his own doing. And when he's in his devil face, which is basically it's the skin is burnt off. And what appears to be horns is more like hair that's like sticks out.
Charred or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not actual horns. Well,
Hair that's clumped up.
yeah,
Maybe.
but
So
it's
he doesn't look like Satan on South Park.
no. It doesn't look like but then his wings are more of like a bat's wings. But in hell, from what they have shown of hell, you don't see the fire and brimstone. You don't see the lake or anything like that. No. And a person's hell is their own doing.
I've believed that for years that your hell is here on earth. And it's what you do or how you live, that creates your own hell. I mean, there's stuff out of your control. There's stuff out of your control, like this podcast was supposed to be talking about death and
Yeah.
like,
Now we're talking about a TV show.
But as far as that goes, you make your own hell by the decisions you make and everything, the shit that goes sideways and everything, and relationships or whatever.
In the show, you live what they call a hell loop, and it's your
Y'all
guilt.
Don't mind.
Look at Andrew. He's like, that shit pretty damn tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're talking about Satan, so we got to have some nectar of the gods.
That's right. But it's your guilt.
Right.
That's what your hell loop is.
Right. Yeah.
And you're constantly.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Is yeah, you may have a hell of a good time doing this, but how guilty do you feel about doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, Abel was in hell. Because yes, Cain killed Abel, but in the show, Abel deserved it because Abel. Yeah, no, there's nothing on there.
I'm just looking.
Okay.
Was a cocky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Raised all.
Yeah,
those
he was just a POS.
Yeah.
And in his hell loop, he constantly, no matter what, got killed by Cain. And being he was the first resident of hell, all the torture that the demons did to him or due to everybody else was tried out on him first. Yeah.
Weird. Crazy. Okay, let's get back on topic here.
Okay, I can segue this.
Okay, segue.
In the show, Death, or Azrael, if you will.
I thought Loki was the angel of death.
No. Loki's the god of mischief in Norse mythology.
I'm not talking about Norse. I'm talking about dogma. Loki destroyed fucking Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
You know.
But in this one, it's she's a little Asian girl.
I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, there's a
Not to go way off topic here, but plenty of Americans died because of little Asian girls. Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're so pretty. Boom! Blow the fuck up. You know?
So brother to buku.
So brother to buku.
Ta-da!
Razor blades in a box and a hooch.
And on that one.
Yeah. We did toast on that one.
Yeah.
Come on, Andrew.
Salud.
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 God, that shit is just too good. We need to send them an email and say, hey, we would love
For you to be a sponsor?
to be a sponsor of our fucking podcast.
Because the bottle itself is pretty damn cool, too.
I mean, $5 a week. I'd say their name.
Well, we've said it once.
Oh, yeah.
But for $5 a week...
For $5,000 a week, we'd have a stack of them motherfuckers. That'd be our backdrop.
For $10 a week, we would put their bottle on the table.
There you go.
Because we have Larry, Bo, Curly. Oh, you took a spot.
Oh, well,
He fills in for you when you're not here.
I don't even know what to say to that. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's
See how they are when I'm not here? I tell you what,
well,
folks,
you know.
I don't give a shit. Oops, sorry about that.
So segueing back to the death thing, it's been a rough year already in 2023.
Yeah. And I mean, we're only, as of this recording, we're only 21 days.
Yeah, not personally, thank
Right.
God.
Oh, God.
You know,
Knock on wood. But I will say this, and I have to say this real quick. My brother's mother-in-law's husband passed away this past Thursday of Huntington's disease.
Yeah.
Now I met
Huntington's disease.
yeah. It
Haven't heard of that
It
one.
deteriorates the body like really bad.
Just one certain part of the body, or the
No,
The whole body.
The
The
whole
whole
body
body.
starts shutting down.
Yeah.
Ooh,
His mind was great.
mine
Yeah,
was good.
and it
Hair down was
COVID
Cut-
started. Well, it's like the transmission to the mouth from the brain and everything. But before COVID, we went and saw. It was one of the Star Wars movies. I forget which one it was, but he
Rogue
was.
One or
No, it wasn't Rogue One. It was after I moved back up to Kansas City.
okay.
But yeah, he was. Every time I saw him, he was a great man, and it's sad that happened. And then now to segue into celebrities, Lisa Marie Presley,
Yep. Crosby,
David Crosby,
David Crosby, just this last week.
yeah, and unbeknownst to us, we didn't realize he was still alive.
Right.
be
I was like,
honest.
David Crosby is still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's one of those celebrities that he hasn't been in the limelight for a while. I
Right.
mean, he's like,
Of course, the one this last week, Jay Briscoe, the Briscoe brothers tag team wrestlers. I can't remember what it is.
Jamin Pugh.
Jamin Pugh. Yeah.
Yes, and
Died tragically in a car wreck.
his daughters were in the vehicle with him,
Right.
and they were rushed to the hospital. One of them had tingling in her legs as of this writing. The other, she was able to be in her back brace and be in a wheelchair for a little while. So I mean, that's a plus.
They never
good.
said anything about the other adult that was in the car that died, though, have they? Because it wasn't his wife.
No,
I know that because she, she's made statements and everything.
right. And the
Jeff Beck.
oh my God,
who?
Jeff Beck.
Yeah,
He- his-
great guitarist.
his
Right.
last recordings were with fucking on Ozzy's album,
Right.
Patient
Yeah.
Number 9.
Yep.
And I mean, they are. It's with Jeff Beck. It's one of those. He was an amazing guitar player. His name was always out there with
Oh, yeah.
Clapton and
Clapton
Page
and Page. Well, they were in the Yardbirds.
Right.
Not at the same time, but they were, yeah.
But he didn't put out a lot of music. Like he wasn't at the forefront like Clapton and Page was.
Right. But he was always revered as one of
Oh my God! And
the most influential guitar players.
the two songs that he did on Ozzy's album is just fucking phenomenal. And we've all heard Zakk Wylde talk about other guitar players and how he praises like what do you say, Saint Edward, Saint Dime,
Right.
Father Page, Saint Rhodes, and everything. But to hear Zach, when he was asked how he felt about playing rhythm to Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Tony Iommi, and he's like, "You mean I get to play rhythm for these guys?"
Well, it'd be an honor almost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know,
And,
but
and that's the thing is, Ozzy has said that Zach is the greatest guitar player he's ever played with, and that says a lot because Ozzy has played with a lot of different guitar players.
well, one or two.
Well,
That's
Tony Iommi,
sarcasm,
Randy
by the way,
Rhoads.
folks. That's sarcasm.
And you know what? And this is, and I'll say this because Ozzy doesn't like Bark of the Moon or Ultimate Sin, but Zach still reveres Jakey Lee.
Well, there was a little controversy there when Jake left I said in interviews with Jake, and he was talking about he loved his time there, but he didn't feel like he got compensated for the songs he wrote.
Right.
He said, I don't want money.
Right.
I just want the recognition that I wrote those songs.
Put my name on something.
You know,
Yeah.
and apparently he didn't get credit for it. And a lot of that stemmed from Sharon, because the original iteration of Ozzy's solo band, it was going to be a band called Blizzard of Oz.
Yes, that's what Ozzy wanted.
And Sharon said, no, it's Ozzy Osbourne. And you're going to hire a band. And so the first CD or first album was Blizzard of Oz. But there's a difference between being a solo act
Yeah.
and being a band.
Oh, yeah.
When you're a solo act, you make way more money than the rest of the band does.
Black Sabbath
And
was,
that was-
split 4 ways.
Exactly.
Ozzy was split 3 ways.
Right.
Or 2 ways, actually. Him and then the band. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off there.
Well, fuck you, man. Well, yeah, I'm talking to Ozzy. I'll give you the praise for
But, you know, it's...
But that was Jake E. Lee said, you know,
Yeah.
and those albums were great with Jake. You know,
I think it was...
You know, I seen Jake E. Lee, and I didn't know who the fuck it was
Yeah.
when he had the band Badlands.
Oh, God, yes.
It was Great White and Tesla, and Badlands was the opening band.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and Badlands, and the music was great.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was fucking Jake E. Lee until after the fact. I'm like, holy shit, I seen Jake E. Lee live. That was fucking cool. Because like Badlands, they're just an opening band for
Yeah.
Tesla. And
Well, and that's... and I'll say this about Jakey Lee and Badlands. Excuse me. He didn't try, and just like with Zach and Black Label, when they started the whole thing, they were not a headlining act. They were an opening act.
oh no, yeah, they were.
And you know, Black Label Society, like Badlands, they were going off of the name of the band,
right,
not the name of the player.
right.
It wasn't Jakey Lee and Badlands. It's
Right.
not Zach
That's
Wild
what I mean.
and
I
Black
seen
Label.
him and didn't know who it was until
Right.
a few weeks after the fact. I'm like going, oh,
Well,
okay.
and I think because Jake had the 2 albums, and you really didn't see much of him. I mean, even though that was the music video time period, you didn't see a lot of Jakey Lee.
Well, you did, but he looked like everybody else.
Right.
He had the long black hair
Yep.
and the blouses and the
Yeah.
skinny, and the tight pants and everything. Looked like every other metal band. You know?
Right.
Where Zach had the long blonde hair, and Jake, if I'm not mistaken, Jake played like a Strat style
did.
shaped guitar,
Right.
where Zach was a Les Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was known for that bullseye Les Paul, the Grail, if you will.
Which was a mistake.
Yeah.
He
Meaning?
wanted the spiral design like you'd see on a hypnotist deal. And when he got the guitar, it was right before the photo shoot. It was circle, circle, circle.
It was more of a bullseye.
More of a bullseye instead of a spiral. And it's like, fuck, we're doing the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Oops, there it is. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
So that
And
was
he
his
went with
signature. Yeah.
Right.
Went with it.
And,
Okay.
You know, and it's that shape that just was not in hard rock and heavy metal at the time. A lot of people were playing that Strat style or some other style of guitar.
There was several playing Les Pauls. They're the 80s hair metal.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, you had,
They had the
but
bullseye, but
right, and that's what stood out.
that was the 2 guitar styles, was the Strat and the Les Paul.
And
And
the
then
the
of
Flying
course,
V. the Rhodes
Flying
V.
and then the Jacksons and
Yep.
the
I mean, other than Zach, what other influential guitar player can you name that played a Les Paul?
Slash.
Exactly. And what did his Les Paul look like? The Tobacco Sunburst.
Right.
Like everybody else's. And it was that bullseye, that grail that set him apart from everybody else. Because everybody was doing the flashy paint schemes on their Strat styles, whether it was an Ibanez or a BC Rich or a Jackson, anything like that.
BC Rich they didn't do the Strat style. They did the way fucked up the witch or the bitch and the warlock and Lita Ford.
Yeah. Well, but the warlock was, I mean, that was metal.
Right. Oh yeah. That was like, I will kill you if you get on the stage.
Yeah. Right. Blackie Lawless played a fucking warlock.
Oh yeah.
But then you had a guy coming out of Texas playing a shape that nobody else was playing. And it was fucking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this guy out of Texas you're talking about?
The one, the only, the great
Okay.
Saint
Okay.
Dimebag Daryl Lance Abbott.
Okay. You were talking Jakey Lee.
Mm-hmm.
You're wanting recognition for,
Just
writing a song.
the songs you wrote, yeah.
Okay. The drummer for Alabama, he was a rented,
Right.
A studio musician.
studio musician.
Yeah. His
That was with him for
Right.
20, 30 years.
his picture was never on an album, was it?
Yes, it was.
Or was it?
But he was never recognized for writing, helping to write,
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple songs. His name was Mark, and I can't remember his last name.
Mm-hmm.
But there was he had a lawsuit with him. You were talking about Jakey Lee not getting, recognized
Right.
for writing, a couple songs for Ozzy, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
Was it?
on an album,
Right.
for helping write a couple songs,
Well, I think Jake's bitch was he wrote Bark at the Moon, and he wrote several songs,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't get
but
recognized
didn't-
on the
but-
credits.
But didn't get any credits for it.
Until later.
Well, he might have. I mean, this
Yeah.
is an interview I seen several years ago.
Yeah, right. Because Bob Daisley, who
Bob Daisley.
he was the bass player on Bark at the Moon and Ultimate Sin. He sued Ozzy and Sharon because he wasn't credited for writing those songs.
Right.
Well, I guess they had settled out of court or whatnot, but then when they re-released, like when everything was released from that point forward, all the songwriting was, Ozzy, Jake, Bob Daisley, and Randy Castile.
Yep.
Because Tommy Aldridge
Drummer.
left after pretty much when after the Speak of the Devil, because it was Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, Speak of the Devil was the live album. Tommy had left and joined Whitesnake, and Rudy went back to Quiet Riot,
Right.
and Ozzy had to hire a whole new band. And then, because I think the first, God, I'm probably wrong, and I'll put it right up here who the drummer was, but I'm pretty sure the No Rest for the Wicked, the first Zakk Wylde album, did have Bob Daisley as the bass player. I can't remember if Randy Castile was the drummer or not
I don't remember.
with Zach.
Yeah.
And I remember when Zach was first fired from Ozzy because Ozzy's
Zach was
music,
fired from Ozzy.
quote unquote, yeah.
Okay.
Because
sorry.
at the time, Ozzy felt that his music.
He wasn't drinking enough.
Well, no. Ozzy had said that the music was starting to sound a lot like Black Label. Because Blasco was playing bass for Ozzy, and Blasco was playing bass for Black Label. So a lot of that songwriting was, I mean, it
was bleeding over.
right.
Bleeding over from this,
But
here to here.
I think Ozzy only recorded one album with John St. Holmes or Joe St. Holmes or whatever the kid's name was. I think he like recorded one album, but then Zach came right back.
Right.
And
Father Ozzy.
right.
Brother
Jeff
Sharon.
Weiland,
Yeah.
real name.
Well, but
Anyway,
the fact that there's so much history between them.
oh yeah,
And, Jack Osborne calls Zach Uncle Zachy
well,
and Aunt Barbara Ann. I mean,
Barbara Ann, who's that?
that's Zach's wife.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You watch any interview with Zach, especially when he talks about him with Dime. Yeah. Barbara Ann didn't have a problem with Dime, but she hated when Zach went and hung out with Dime.
Right.
because she knew that
Oh, she would read Zach the riot act,
Zach
but,
would be,
but if Dime got on the
more
phone,
than
Well, here's the deal.
14 goats.
They were both really good guys, but when they got together, they weren't worth a fuck.
Both of them together weren't worth a cold bottle of piss.
there was
there
was that time where they stole like their bus driver's expedition that he had just bought his wife, and they fucking destroyed shit all over Dallas. And I mean they'd been on like a 3-day bender, and Zach had missed plane flight after plane flight, and Barbara Ann, and this was right around Christmas time, and Barbara Ann was pissed.
Oh, he almost had to find a new place to live.
Dime got on the phone.
Is what you're saying about
And
Zach.
oh fuck yeah, but Dime got on the phone with Barbara Ann,
It said,
and she was like,
it's
"Oh,
my fault.
that's okay," and they got they got arrested, and when
he was able to, smooth that out.
Dime and Zach got arrested, and when the police chief found out who they were, they posed for photos, signed autographs, because they didn't hurt anybody, and Dime paid for all the property damage.
Right.
They signed a couple of guitars, did some
I'm paying
photos,
for it. Here you go.
signed some autographs, and they were let go.
Don't let it happen again. All right. Y'all, paid the damages. Now get out of here. Go home.
In Dime's living room, he had the stop sign with the fucking metal pole that him and Zach ran into.
Well, by damn, if you're going to do it,
And
grab it and take it home with you.
he ended up buying the bus driver a new fucking vehicle because they were doing donuts
By
in
rides.
Dime's front yard
By rides.
so much that the tires blew and they were running on the rims.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were
screwed up the
farming.
rims.
Oh, they were farming fucking Dime and Rita's front yard with
They
fucking
were,
rims.
they were cultivating the front yard.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that okay.
I don't think my liver could have stood that.
To go with the death thing, that's the type of person that Dime was. Is and
He lived life to the fullest.
Right.
well, and he was kind to everybody.
Right.
And Dave Grohl have said the reason he is the way he is because everybody says he's the nicest guy in fucking rock and roll.
Right.
Dave Grohl is.
Yes,
Okay.
because of Dimebag.
Nicer than Fred Cupcake Curry.
Yes.
Because he was known for the nicest man in rock and roll.
Right.
Drummer for Cinderella, for all of you that don't know that.
When Dime and Vinny had their strip club in Dallas, if you came into
Cat
the
house.
clubhouse,
Oh, clubhouse. Hell, I thought the cat house.
Clubhouse.
I'm
Cat,
sorry, clubhouse. My bad.
Cat House was in Hollywood and was owned by Ricky Rackman and Tammy Down from Faster Pussycat. Boom!
Okay, there's 2 plugs right there. Sorry, my bad.
That's how Ricky Rackman got the Headbangers Ball job, was because he was the owner of the Cat House, and they had all the metal acts at that time coming through the Cat House. But if you came into the clubhouse in Dallas, Texas, when Dime and Vinny owned it, and Dime was in there, he would party with you. And if he drank you under the table, he would take you back to his house and they would continue to party. If you were able to drink Dime under the table, you drove Dime back to his house and you guys continued to party.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And if you've seen any of the Pantera home videos or either one of the Dime visions, Dime had a thing for fucking fireworks.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he did not have a problem setting fireworks off in his house.
Okay.
Roman candles.
There's the one video from
Flash
Dime
paper.
Vision 1. He fires a bottle rocket, one of the bigger bottle rockets at Bobzilla. And it follows him around as he's rolling around on the ground and finally fucking pops.
Yep.
And Dime's shooting this all through a fucking night vision camera.
Don't get any ideas here, folks.
Oh, no. Number one, neither one of us have the type of money that Dimebag had.
Right.
And
The other part of the management here would not have a
Yeah.
no, that
would not go for that.
Now, if we push you out in the yard and then shot bottle rockets at you, that'd be okay.
Right.
yeah, but I'd much rather shoot Roman candles at him now,
Yeah.
because that was light one and
Yep.
poof, poof.
Then watch Andy go. Motherfuckers!
Oh, son of a bitch! I'm on fire! I'm on fire!
Got naters and son of a bitches.
Oh God. Well.
Well, we've kind of veered off, but
Yeah.
anyway,
We talked a little bit about a death, but
it'll be all right.
Anyways,
You know,
you have just watched a new episode of Stu Him Productions Presents,
J&M, solve the world. I have been James.
and I've been Matt. And on behalf of Andy and James, you keep one fist in the gold, one foot in the gutter, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
ha 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 ha.